Hey there, it's Brittany Chavers. I'm back with a tutorial. Today we're going to be using the beautiful new Sweater Weather Give Thanks bead collection from Jesse James Beads. I am super excited. It's so funny. I'm not a huge fan of fall and fall colors, but out of the three sweater weather mixes, this one's actually my favorite, which is shocking because it's the only one that has like the true fall colors in it. So today we're going to make 2 pairs of earrings and a bracelet. And we're also going to get an assist from some Leather Cord USA 0.5 millimeter leather. We have 2 meters of the Tahiti color, which is like a nice harvest orange. And I think this is it Cyclaman? Which is a really nice berry color. We're also going to get some, the owl button out of our Sweater Weather Cozy Up bead collection, and a couple of the knot beads out of the Sweater Weather bead collection. So that's all we're going to use, I think, from this one. We're going to use the button from here on the bracelet, and then we're going to use 2 of these on our pair of earrings. So let's start with our bracelet. I'm going to cut 2 3-foot lengths, and I am 1 from each color. Okay, so we have our 3-foot lengths cut, and I'm going to slide my button onto both pieces and meet the ends. Get them as even as possible. And then we're going to slide that button down to the middle. Okay, so we have a middle right here. And we're going to tie a little knot. Now, I made a very similar bracelet to this on my channel recently. However, this one is different because it has 4 strands instead of just 2. And I'm really excited because it's going to be gorgeous, especially with these sparkly harvest colored beads. Okay, and our 2-tone leather. Okay, so we made a knot with a little wiggle room for our button, and I'm going to dump out my beads and see what we have to go with here. So for this bracelet, I don't think I'm going to use any of, well, I don't know if I'm going to use the charms, but I know I'm not going to use these leaf charms. We're going to set those aside. We're going to put our tassels and everything aside. But then we have all this yumminess to go with. Okay. So there are a couple different ways that we can do this. I don't think, we only have a couple really large hole beads that would fit all 4 strands through. So I think what we're going to do is end up knotting between our beads. But I'm just going to pick out some that I think would go really well together, which they all go really well together, but we're just going to kind of sort everything out. Okay, so we have all these beautiful beads, and I also have some coordinating Czech fire polish beads. These are in the color Tigereye Honey, and they're 8 millimeter, and they're just, they look like honey. They're so yummy, and I think the brown goes really well with this color palette. So I'm gonna, if we need extra beads, use some of those. So I have my bracelet, and I am just going to pile on some beads, and I don't know that I'm looking for a pattern here, and I think we will in each section try to use a larger bead and then smaller beads. So I think I'm going to start with this orange one. So I think I am going to do a little bit of a pattern just to make sure that we get some beads in, some large beads in each section. So start with an orange one, and then we'll do a yellow, a red, a blue, and then I'll start over again in case we need it. I don't think we'll have that many sections though. So for the first section, I'm going to put an orange on the berry. Move it down. So we have our 4 strands and 2 beads on those 4 strands. And then I'm gonna just take my beads and I'm gonna leave them a little bit looser. I'm not gonna tighten the knot up against the beads. I'm gonna make a knot on all 4 strands right here. And you'll just want to tighten that so it won't slide apart. So there is our first section. And we've got some green and some oranges going on. And then I'm just going to go up the bracelet. So this, on this strand, I think the yellow is where I'm going to put the focal on the orange this time. And I think I'll put a bright orange on a berry. And there we go. That'll be, I think we can put one more bead on this one. I'll grab the other berry and I'll grab one of these champagne beads. There we go. That's pretty. And knot right here. Now the fun thing about this bracelet is you can knot wherever you want. You don't have to knot in between your sections. So if you just want 4 strands with loose beads running around your wrist, that would be really pretty too. Okay, we'll tighten that knot. And then it's just a bracelet that is going to display all of your gorgeous beads. So if you're a really like a bead addicted person like me, I love making some jewelry just to see my beads, not for the design of the bracelet. Like this is a good bracelet for just showcasing your really pretty beads. All right, so I put a red on a berry, and I think I'm gonna go with this gold. I think this is a Czech bead. And I think we'll go with a small green as well on this other berry. We're getting a lot of sparkle in this bracelet without using a lot of beads. A lot of color. So there we go. And then I'll just make another knot. And you can use whatever type of knots you like. If you like barrel knots, you could try and do that with 4 strands. I'm just doing a really easy overhand knot. So there we go. And I think I'm actually going to go back to the orange and leave the blue out. I really like that orange, so I'm going to grab a berry strand, an orange bead, and then I'm just going to go back and grab, since we had a green here, I don't think I'm going to use a green here. I am going to use another orange. And I'm going to try one of these. Yep, I like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to yellow. And I think I'm going to do one more section. So there are so many different ways that you can do this. You could just put beads all on one strand and have, or all on just the berry strands, or all just on the orange strands, and then have the berry strands on the outside of the beads, whatever floats your boat. But I liked how this looked today. Okay, and then here I am just going to make enough, another knot, but enough room between this knot and the next knot for my owl to slip through as the closure. So I'm not going to tighten that yet because we don't need it to be that long. But if I take 2 strands and separate them from the other 2 and slide my button through. Okay, so I can definitely move my knot down more. There we go. I think that'll be a good spot. We can still get that. Yeah, we can still get that owl through there. Okay. So it's cute, but it's not finished yet. I'm going to put some beads on the ends of each one of these, and then we'll knot them off. So I'm going to use these, and these. And we'll go with a couple of those. Okay. And then we'll just knot this, and then I'll use some glue. You can use GS Hypo Cement, Super New Glue, whatever you'd like to secure your knot. But you want to make sure you pull that really tight. And then I'll go with this. And you can stagger these. You don't have to make them the same length, but I am going to make them as close to the same length as I can. And then I'm going to do the exact same 4 beads on the next 2, but I will put a green with the brown instead of with the champagne. And then last one, we'll do an orange with the champagne. Okay, so I'm going to trim these just below that knot. Grab my glue and just dab the glue on the knot. The glue will dry clear so you can't see it. And here is our gorgeous fall bracelet. Oh my gosh, I love it. It is so cute. These beads are just really sparkly, and I just love how the colors mix together. Actually, I think I'm going to take, I'm seeing a little hint of a nice metal, like shiny metal under here. So I'm going to take a little high grade sandpaper and buff that really quickly. I'm not going to take off too much. Okay, so I have some 800 grit sandpaper, and I am just going to go like this really quickly over the owl, and it's bringing out the metal underneath for really cool contrast through that ivory. I don't know if you can see it, but it's, yeah, you can kind of see it's just highlighting the feathers, and you don't have to do this, but I just thought it would really give that owl a little bit more personality. Not that he didn't already have some, but yeah, I'm loving it. Get a little bit of that copper showing. So our bracelet is finished. So cute. I love it. I love it. It's going to be, I think it'd be good for all year round because we've got some really good colors in there. Okay. So next we're going to do a leather earring. We're going to need 7 to 8 inches again of that Cyclaman. I think it's called Cyclaman. I hope it's called Cyclaman. That Cyclaman color, or whichever color you want. And then we're going to really want to trim the ends into a point, because if we don't, the two pieces might not fit through our beads. So I'm just going to do it at an angle. Just like that. Okay. And then we're going to need one of these. Actually, we're going to need 2 of these crystal rondelle spacers. The first one, we're just going to slide both pieces through. And they're both through. I just one is further than the other. Okay. And I am going to make sure we make a knot. So I'm going to make a knot just below this bead, leaving that much. How long is this? This is about, it's about an inch long underneath our crystal rondelle. Okay, so I took the bead off to make the knot and make sure we can get it where we need it. All right, so that's about where we need the knot. I'm going to slide my bead back on. And that knot is just going to hold our bead in place and keep it from sliding down any further onto the leather. Then we're going to put our bead cap from the kit, or from the bead mix, on. Slide that down. We're actually not going to even see that spacer, not that one anyway. Then I am going to put on another spacer. A frosted glass bead. And we might have to twist to get both of those to go all the way through, but it'll work out. Then we'll slide that down, and then we are going to create another knot at the top. Okay, and then this knot, I'm just tying the 2 together instead of doing an overhand knot like we did before. Just like that. Okay, so we've got a knot right up against our bead, and I love how that purple looks against that yellow. And then I'm just going to find one of the tails and see which one can go straight up from the knot. The other I'm going to trim, making sure I don't cut the knot itself. And then we'll want to do a little bit of glue, do a little dot of glue on that so our knot doesn't come apart. And then I have a culotte, or a clamshell, and I'm going to stick my leather up through the clamshell. And then I'm going to put on a crimp bead. And we can just take our pliers and crimp that closed. You can use your crimping pliers or just your regular pliers. And then we'll trim that right down next to the crimp bead. And close our clamshell. Okay. All right, so there's our earring so far. And then I have a head pin and the largest crystal that was in the kit. And I'm just going to do a simple loop. Open that loop up and hook it onto our leather. So we have a really beautiful earring that showcases not only the really fun beads that are in this kit, but the leather too, that really pretty berry color. All right, and then I'm gonna take my earring wire, open that up, find the front of the earring, and slide that on. Okay, and there we go. Here is our second earring. And that cute little pair, and they're kind of like almost shoulder dusters depending on how long your neck is. Oh, we've got somebody stuck. There we go. These are so fun. I love them. They look like little bells. So cute. And then last but not least, we're going to use all of those copper daisy spacers. So you're going to need 6 per earring from this kit. I think there were 12 in the kit. We're going to need a head pin, an eye pin, a jump ring, one of these bead caps, one of the cubes, and then this is the bead from Cozy Up. So I'm going to put on this crystal bead with the point facing down on our eye pin. Okay, and then I'm going to put on our bead cap, so it looks like that. And then I'm going to put on 6 of our 12 spacers. And then I'm going to put on our knot bead, our fabric bead, right on top. I love that. I love that. It kind of reminds me of an acorn without it actually being an acorn. And then I'm just going to do a simple loop on top. Okay, I'm going to take my jump ring, open that up, and hook it to the bottom of our earring. And then I'm going to take my acrylic leaf and connect it. And then I'm going to take my head pin and my little crystal and create a single dangle with a simple loop. Okay, and then we will open that up and hook it on to the front. And in this situation, or this instance, I'm going to use the shiny piece of the leaf as the front onto the jump ring. I'll close that up. And then we need an ear wire. And there we go. Very fall inspired sweater weather give thanks earrings. Aren't these super adorable? I love them. And they make some noise when you're moving too. So cute. I absolutely love give thanks. It's like my favorite fall mix so far. Let me know what you think. And thanks so much for watching. Thanks to Jesse James Beats for having me back. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye. That leg hanging out there. Look how cute that little leg is. Hi, baby. Hi. Hi, Goldie.